welcome everyone. I see a lot of regulars. I've had two people tell me that they've been to every one of our 17 annual conferences, and that's not counting my wife, so that's pretty good. I think right up front, I'll say, taking nothing away from any of the previous 16 conferences, that this certainly may be the most impressive lineup of speakers that we've had yet, along with the sessions. Of course, the conference is taking place at a time of substantial change in law and policy in areas in which the Free State Foundation primarily focuses. That's communications and internet issues and competition and consumer protection. There are others, of course, but those are areas of our primary focus for sure. As many of you have heard me say frequently, we always approach our work with our grounding in foundational free market, free speech, property rights, and rule of law principles in mind. Not to belabor the point here, because you'll hear much about it throughout the day, but it's a time when lawmakers in Congress, Trump administration officials, and agency leaders, especially including for our purposes today, those at the FCC and FTC, are striking out in new directions that are likely to represent meaningful departures from those of their predecessors. These new directions will affect the public and consumers and regulated parties in significant ways. And in a larger sense, if you pay close attention, you'll discern that these new directions may well affect the way we think about the relationship among the three branches of government and their proper roles. Notice I said three branches, having in mind the legislative, executive, and judiciary. I'm sure you're likely to hear discussion today about the so-called independent agencies like the FCC and the FTC and how they fit into the constitutional design that the founders bequeathed us. I'm not going to take time to go through the agenda here, as I sometimes do. You all have a program in front of you. I'm just going to note that late on Friday afternoon, I was notified that Representative Richard Hudson, chairman of the House Communications Subcommittee, needed to switch. He wants to be here and asked if I could accommodate him in the afternoon. So he and Brendan Carr have essentially switched places. That's been on our website for a couple days for those that might have checked. So there's going to be plenty of discussion today of the most important telecom, media, and internet competition, administrative law issues of the day. I've made clear every year and many times throughout the year that at the Free State Foundation, we're always eager to engage respectfully with those with different perspectives. In that vein, I'm pleased that shortly you'll hear from Jonathan Turley, who will explain why free speech remains the indispensable right, the maintenance upon which all other rights depend. Promoting free speech will always be one of the Free State Foundation's important lodestars. As always, I remain grateful for your interest and participation in FSF's programs and activities and for your attendance here today. Now, I want to, just a couple of recognitions. I'm pleased that two of our directors are here today from our board. Tom Talkey is here along with Ken Kane, both members of the FSF board. I don't want to forget to thank Kathy Baker, who's in the back. Simply put, without Kathy's hard work on the conference, it wouldn't be what it is today. And then I want to thank my wife, Laurie, who is helpful with conference preparations, as well as other FSF work. This year, on a more personal note, if I may, I need to mention that Laurie sustained a nasty break of her femur on December 28th. Hence, she's not as mobile as she usually is. so you'll understand why. And then 3 weeks later, she broke the femur again. So that was another break. Don't ask how all this happened. There's some stories about that. But Laurie's here helping out, and even in her less mobile condition. So, if no one objects, I'm going to dedicate this conference to Laurie, who's been so helpful with this and so much else. And it happens to be the week when we're celebrating another anniversary. And I'll just say all I'll say is this is the glass anniversary. So hopefully that won't mean much to you because it's up there. Okay, now don't forget to tweet away at hashtag FSF conference, FSF CONF 17 exclamation point. And we hope you will tweet. So now I'm going to take a seat, and we're going to get started with the first session.